So, lads, today we're going to be talking about something that I find extremely concerning. And if you are a fan of the Indiana Fever, in my opinion, it's really concerning. It's really, really concerning. And that is the way that the Indiana Fever have dealt with the Khloe Bibby injury. I'm not out here saying that Khloe Bibby, the Fever training staff, are the reason why Khloe Bibby's injured. I'm actually not saying that, and I don't know that. But what I am saying is Khloe Bibby was listed as day-to-day 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, she was day-to-day. And then all of a sudden, she goes from day-to-day to she's back playing. She was day-to-day, she was in practice, and then suddenly she's back playing. She's back on the roster for a game. They didn't play her. They gave her a DMP, but she was on the roster. She warmed up. And then she's suddenly off the roster. And look, it's one thing, like setbacks from injuries happen. That happens all the time. That a player comes back from injury a little bit too early and they end up having a setback and they're out. But Stephanie White was asked about this. And her words were that there was no setback, just a little bit of swelling because of traveling. And we all said it and we were like, she's just defined a setback. She just said there's no setback and then defined a setback. And they were like, swelling while traveling is a setback. Unless, of course, they knew she was out for the season. But also, knowing that she wasn't good for the season, also putting her on the active roster when they had more than 8 players and they didn't need to. That doesn't make sense either. Like, I made a video and people literally, everyone in my replies, this is the dumbest shit ever, is everyone in my replies being like, you're not a doctor, you're not the team doctor. You don't have to be a doctor to know when something's wrong. Like, if you followed sports long enough, you know when something is seriously, seriously wrong. Like, you know when stuff is like, teams shouldn't be doing something. Like, let's be completely real. Tyrese Halliburton should not have played in those games. Everyone knows that. You don't need to be a doctor to know that Halliburton shouldn't have played. You don't need to be a doctor to know that Kevin Durant shouldn't have played in 2019 when he snapped his Achilles. You don't have to be a doctor to know that. And I made a video, was it maybe 3 days ago? Why did a Fever refuse to be honest about their injuries? Like, why did they refuse to be honest? And so many people are just like, basically being like, oh yeah, you're not a doctor, these doctors know more. It's like, well, yeah, obviously. Like, these doctors know more, but the team just doesn't seem to be willing to communicate anything. Like, I understand bringing out Khloe Bibby. It's not the end of the world that you've brought out Khloe Bibby. It's not the end of the world you brought her back a little bit early. If it turns out that it was a pretty bad knee injury, that she was done anyway. Like, there's a chance that Khloe Bibby was done for the season anyway. It's one of those injuries where it'll take 2 months to figure out. But while it'll take 2 months to figure out the injury, it's not going to get worse if you play a little bit on it. But, like, that's the thing when about this. Like, if your knee is randomly swelling up, while you're flying, there's probably something wrong. Unless it's your body's natural reaction to having bad injuries in the past, and I don't think she's torn ACL before. There's something wrong, and she shouldn't have kept flying. Like, it's one thing, but she kept flying. Like, she should have been sent back to Indiana and just told not to travel. And at the same time, like, there's no reason for injured players to be traveling everywhere. Like, I don't understand why injured players are getting on flights. It's one thing if you're going to Chicago and it's a bus. But, like, why injured players are getting on flights? It doesn't make any sense. And again, anyone who's played any sport in their life knows that swelling is your body's reaction to something being wrong. Like, ironically, it would be a worse thing for our body if things didn't swell up. But if things randomly start swelling, something's wrong. And again, it doesn't always have to be something major. Like, for some reason, the Indiana Fever refused to say. And I was like, things can be slight setbacks. Things can be minor setbacks. And like, I'm really, really worried for Caitlin Clark's injury. Like, what the hell like, what the hell's going on? Like, it's gotten to the stage where you've even got Khloe Peterson talking about it. 4 days after Steph White said she didn't consider swelling and Khloe Bibby's need to be a setback, Bibby has been ruled out for the season. Like, and it's the one thing, it might be a minor injury. Like, being ruled out for the season is like being ruled out for the season because there's 3 games, there's a week left in the season. It could be a 2-week-long injury. It could be a 2-week-long injury, and simultaneously, while being a 2-week-long injury, it could be something that they're like, well, you know what? We were considering cutting her anyway. Because she doesn't fit. And, you know, at least if she's out for the season with a season injury, and we can bring in a hardship player quicker, we don't need to cut her and wait some time until we sign someone or anything. So there is some logic to that. Like, it's probably a minor injury. There's no way it's a major injury. But, like, still, it's just the way things are being communicated. And again, Caitlin Clark, if we do not see footage of Caitlin Clark practicing today, I think we can assume that Caitlin Clark is done. Because today is the last day of practice they're going to have before the end of the regular season. They have a game tonight. They have a game Sunday. Sorry, they have a game tomorrow. They have a game Sunday. They have a game Tuesday. Am I right in saying that? But yeah, it's for me anyway, I'm just sitting there like, the Indiana Fever have to be better. They have to do a better job when it comes to, you know, actually communicating. And it's not, they don't have to tell us everything, but there's no setback, and then 4 days later it's a season-ending injury. Like, that's kind of crazy. That is kind of crazy. We go from, no, all's good, to, yeah, I know, she's actually, it's over. She's actually done in 4 days. Like, that's not good. That's not good at all. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, lads. That's pretty much it. For me, anyway, this whole situation is just a disaster for the Fever. But I also don't think the Fever have done a good job. Like, again, there's no way, even the most incompetent training staff should not have this amount of injuries. Even the most incompetent training staff shouldn't be doing this type of thing. But at the same time, so I think there's a lot of bad luck involved in it as well. But while there's bad luck involved in it, we got to also say this organization's not doing a good job communicating. And what do we believe about Caitlin Clark's injury then? What do we believe? What do we actually believe about Caitlin Clark? Don't let anyone trick you into believing that this is normal. Don't let anyone trick you. And by the way, injuries are normal. Injuries happen. I'm not saying don't let anyone trick you into saying that this amount of injury is normal. This can happen. This can happen to any teams. I think we've just been the unluckiest team in basketball this year. But the way everything's being communicated is absolutely something that's not normal. That is not normal. And the vast majority of the time, things are communicated like this, it means something way, like, it's a lot of times something way, way worse is going on. And I just don't know what the hell's wrong. Like, I'm switching up. I still think there's a 60% chance Caitlin Clark comes back. I still think more likely than not Caitlin Clark comes back to play. Like, the playoffs is enough time away that I would assume she's going to play in them. But at the end of the day, there's no guarantee of anything. And they don't have to be too forward. They don't have to be too forward, but like, it seems like we're just getting wrong information about players. Like, no setbacks, and then the organization, the PR thing from the organization coming out. And this is why, and I don't mind, it's whatever it's about Stephanie White, it's the whole PR thing. The organization, when 2 weeks later, randomly, Caitlin Clark injures her ankle, and then randomly 2 weeks later, we find out. And then all of a sudden, the Fever themselves put out a PR statement being like, this ankle injury didn't change the timeline because there is no timeline. So therefore, it's impossible. We found the loophole that it's impossible for it to change a timeline because we never gave a timeline, so you can't change the timeline. Like, it's all of it. All of it is shady. All of it is weird. None of it is normal. None of it is normal. Don't let anyone tell you that the way they're dealing with everything here is normal. It's not. It's absolutely not. And again, look, there are teams that are a little bit secretive with things. And to be honest, maybe it's a case where even though teams are really secretive with things in the NBA, like, teams are secretive, the organizations don't have to say much because there's going to be insiders that say it. There's going to be insiders. Shams will let you know exactly what's going on. Agents will be leaking things. And maybe it's just the WNBA doesn't have that. Maybe WNBA doesn't have these insiders leaking things and kind of letting everybody know what's going on. But yeah, for me anyway, it's an all-around not good situation for anyone involved here. It's not a good situation for Caitlin. It's not a good situation for the Fever. It's not a good situation for any of these players. Not a good situation for the fans, who at the end of the day, sports is an entertainment business. The reason why these players get paid is not because they're really good. They get paid because of the fans. Like, the best ping pong player in the world doesn't make that much money. Players get paid because of fans. And I don't like this. That's one of the things that I always find really confusing about WNBA players. Like, they absolutely deserve more money. But they deserve more money because of the amount of fans, the amount of people that are showing up to games. They deserve more money because of the relevance of the league right now. They don't but that's why they deserve more money. It's nothing to do with the level of play. It's nothing to do with their basketball ability. Why they deserve more money? They deserve more money because more people are watching them. It's kind of as simple as that. But yeah, that's the video, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.